Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Richard Schley speaking to you, your miracle coach. We are entering a new session. We are going into a session that brings you success. We are carrying on. We are continuing with laying a proper foundation. Because without foundation, no house can stand. Without foundation, your life is shaking, is wavering to and fro. And you wonder, where is the success which I have been seeking so earnestly? The point is, you have to grasp the number one ingredient, and that is called integrity. I'm saying it again and again because exactly that word is not being heard by anyone. Everyone is trying to reach his goal by avoiding integrity. Integrity means the word which I give to anyone is unwavering, and that word will never be changed. But integrity also means I have to find a word, a totally reliable word on which I can rely. And that is not quite easy to find. You might have a good friend. You might have good parents. You might have a good husband. You might have a good wife. But as long as we have to deal with mortal people, with a mortal person, mortal means we can die. We can die any moment. As long as we have to deal with a mortal person, the word a mortal person is giving is also mortal. The word can be dead any moment. The very moment the person dies, his word is of no value. This is the greatest knowledge you have to have in order to build a good foundation for success. But there are so many ingredients which are necessary to really master the life. It doesn't mean that you have to live as a hermit. No, you have to live in this modern world, but knowing where you live. The world is not a master above us. We are, because of our word, because of our thoughts, because of the feelings which are accompanied by our thoughts, we can become a master of the world we are living in. I'm more than 59 years on the go. So to say, I'm living a life by faith since more than 59 years. And I'm very, very, very successful. So far, I'm the only one who is left over from all these many, many successful people. I know ever so many. But most of them, I know even guys who were able to perform miracles. I know guys who were a preacher. But by some kind of circumstance, because there was no integrity in their life, they did leave this plane, this earth, at the age of 59 or 65. Hardly any one of these guys got very old. And there must be something wrong in the life of a person that is very successful for quite a few years, even 10 or 20 years. Sounds very good for many. But what is going to happen after 20 years are over? Is success still there, or is the person declining? Or is he suddenly going back into the old way of living? I have known people who were alcoholics. They came out of that kind of rut. And for quite a few years, they didn't touch any alcohol any longer. But after 20 years, they suddenly began again drinking alcohol in such a rapid way that it destroyed their body. The point is, we have to have a goal that is going to the end of our lives. It might be your idea to become a millionaire. Sounds very good. But according to latest statistics, most millionaires are no longer a millionaire after 2 years. They're just throwing the money around and trying to be the big guy that wants to be acclaimed and astonished and wants to stand on the stage and be admired, or going over the red carpet and be admired. But marching over the red carpet is not the real life. Think about what is your real goal. Do you want to live a life without any debts? I say without any penny of debts or cent or whatever you call your currency. In order to live a life, a successful life, you have to have certain principles. The first principle must be to be free of any amount of debts. This is the very first principle, because as long as you are having any debts, you're not a free person. You're having one enemy behind you, and that is a bank. The bank to whom and to where you have to pay every month your fees, your rates. As long as that does exist, you are not a free person. You are like a prisoner. You are free for about 25 days of the month. And after 25 days, you suddenly begin to think, oh, the first is running. It's coming towards me. Where do I get the money from in order to give it to the bank, in order to pay my dues, to pay all the fees, all my obligations? You're getting nervous. You're not a free person any longer. You're only temporarily free. You are a slave. You are a prisoner. And your goal has to be out of prison for a lifetime. By prison, I mean the way of thinking you have been put into. Because the very moment you have any penny of debts behind your neck, your thinking is not free. No matter what you're reading, no matter what you're visualizing, it doesn't matter. It will not work, because in your neck there is that enemy, the debts. The money you have to pay to the bank on the first of the month. Get rid of that. And how can we get rid of that? That is the most important thing, and is the number one thing in your life. By writing down with your hand and pencil or ball pen or fountain pen, by writing down what is your goal. By writing down what is my lifelong goal, not my temporary goal for the next months or 3 months or 6 months or even 12 months. That is no goal. You have to have a very, very high goal. This you have to have in order to be reminded all the time, this is my goal. And whatever I do, this goal has to be reached. The sooner, the better. Those goals, they are looking so simple for many people. Oh, you are not having and becoming a millionaire. You are not having the money. You are not having the goal to get a lot of money in order to be a millionaire. You might be a millionaire, even overnight. This is possible. I have experienced people that were poor, and overnight they were very rich. How did that happen? Suddenly, a very far away relative whom nobody ever thought about living in Brazil or in a faraway country. I have this, what I'm talking about, I have this experience, not personally, but with friends. Suddenly, the court of Rio de Janeiro sent them a letter. There was a guy who is a relative to you, you have forgotten it, but we have researched everything and found out you are the last one. And the guy, your relative, he left behind, before he died, a paper in which he wrote, you are the beneficiary of the last money which he accumulated. And he accumulated about 3 millions. But unless you can prove that those 3 millions are belonging to you, and unless you can prove you are the right guy, we cannot send the money to you, but you have to bring the proof. A friend of mine, having inherited 3 millions from a very, very far away guy in Brazil, 3 millions. How do I get it into my hand? He came to me and he asked me many, many questions. Do you know what to be done? What can we do? There on the paper it says, I could have it if I prove this and that. And because of all the knowledge I've accumulated over all the years, I've got plenty of knowledge, I found a way how to talk to the court. I'm speaking 4 languages. And I got in touch with the court. And I could convince the court in Brazil that he is the right guy. And then the great miracle happened. He received, by a money transfer, $3 million, American dollars. And then it arrived in Germany. And he said, what can I do that I don't have to pay the high taxes of the German country? The taxes are about 50%, half of it. And again, I found a way for him, a legal way, not something illegal. We found a legal way. And we also found a broker who cared about the money and accumulated it and made out of the 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. And what did he do? He paid 10% of that money as a gratitude to his coach. And the money accumulated, and he was able to buy a big apartment. And now he's a man who is free, financially free. But there had to be so many people helping him. The money came as if out of the fresh air. It wasn't some lotto or whatever, but he didn't know that this person, this relative, existed in Brazil. But they found him. And you call it luck? No, I call it faith. He had the faith, he had a goal, and he believed that this goal could be reached. He was sticking to that goal. He never gave up. He's a close friend of mine. He never gave up. And I gave him very often and very many advices how to go about, how to handle money, and so forth. And he's a man of integrity. I taught him what integrity means, that your word can never be broken, that you have to make up your mind, that your own word, which you are giving to whomever you are giving it, and be careful what you are doing with your words, that this word can never be broken. In olden times, thousands of years away, they had a covenant. They made a covenant between 2 people. We can read about in the Bible and in Oriental books about the covenant they made. If 2 guys made a covenant, this covenant, if it was broken, the guy who broke it, he had to die. This was all written down in the covenant. Of course, nobody has to die nowadays. But still, if you break your word, if you break integrity, then you become a liar. And as a liar, you are not having any real chances in life. Build up a foundation. Take those few words which I'm giving you as the best words you have ever come across. I'm not a fake. I'm a real person. And I've been blessed by the blessings of the living God. I'm not a holy man, but I'm a man of integrity. And this integrity has made me a rich man and a very blessed man and a very intelligent man. This integrity has brought me through life in a very, very successful way. And year after year, I became more and more rich and got more and more wealthy just because of integrity. And I've always, whenever I made money, I have given it. I have supported other people. I always give 10% of all my earnings to people that are worthy to be helped. The point is that you learn to realize one big truth. Your words are words of power, and your thoughts are electromagnetically vibrating. There's an electromagnetic power in all your thoughts, in all your feelings, and in all what you believe. And this electromagnetic power, this is not some fiction. This can be measured. Nowadays, almost everything can be measured, even your thoughts. And the electromagnetic power of your thoughts, this creates your inner and outer world. This is the greatest truth we can give you today, tonight. And remember that whatever you think, whatever you feel, and whatever you believe is having an electromagnetic power. And this power attracts to you what you are sending out. And this is my thought for tonight and my word for tonight. Electromagnetic power is the power that attracts everything into your life, the good and the bad. Therefore, choose your right thoughts. Do not think anything lightly. Don't live a shallow life. Live a life with a foundation behind it, and success is coming to you. And now I'm saying goodbye till the next session. Good night. Bye-bye.